Hi, this is Nicole from the Markesan Public Library, and today I'm going to give a quick tutorial on how to use the Libby app to download online books and music and audiobooks and even some streaming video, just to get you started where you can actually get the app and use it and get comfortable with it. Libby works on most of the newer tablets, most of the newer phones, the iPhones, the iPads, the Androids. With the with the Kindle Fire right now, you would have to download the Overdrive app. It's just an older version of Libby and it works just as well. It's just a little bit different as far as user interface. So for those of you with a newer device, let's go ahead and download Libby. I'm using my iPhone. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to your app store, whatever your app store looks like, whether it's Google Play or whether it's like the Apple App Store. I'm going to click App Store. I already did a search, Libby by Overdrive. So if you were starting from scratch, you would type in Libby. And there you go, Libby by Overdrive. Click it. There's a little girl with a book. That's Libby. We're going to download it. Takes a little bit to download, but it's not, if you got a pretty fast internet, it's not too bad. We'll open it up. And then she has this nice little user interface where she welcomes you to the library and she asks, do you have a library card? Yes, we have a card. We're going to click yes. Now there's different options of how you can get started putting your credentials into Libby. If you already have it on another device, you can even copy it over from another device, or you can look it up by location, or she'll even guess where you're from based on your phone's GPS. But we're going to search for a library. I'm going to type in the name, but you could type in the zip code. I'm going to type in Markesan. And there we go. It pops up, but you can't quite see it on your screen, but I can on mine. There's, oh, it's just a little delayed. There we go, Wisconsin Public Library Consortium. I'm going to click on that. The Markesan Public Library. I'm going to wait for the screen to catch up to me. And the next question Libby's going to ask is, where do you use your library card? It's basically asking you what library you have again. I'm not sure why they ask us twice, but they ask us twice. So we're going to choose a location. There's going to be a long scrolling list of libraries that'll pop up pretty soon. And you're going to want to scroll all the way down. It takes a while because this is all of the libraries in the state of Wisconsin. You get to Markesan. Like I said, it's a little time consuming. And then you click it. And then it's going to ask you for your library card number. Now I'm going to pause here. First I'll start typing it in, but I'm not going to finish typing it in because it's my personal library card number. But you would type in your library card number with all of the numbers, no spaces. And like I said, I'm just going to pause it here. And when I click the next button, it's going to ask me for my PIN number. So I'll pause the recording for 1 second. So you'll get to a screen where it will ask you for your PIN number, which is usually the last 4 digits of your phone number. And then you're going to click sign in. So after you go ahead and sign in, it'll show your library card and how many loans you can have and how many holds you have. Down here, there's a little area where you can rename your card. And that's what I had done, and I named it Nicole Overbeck instead of all my numbers. And then you can click next. And then once you click next, you'll be in the consortium and you can start downloading books. So again, I'm just waiting for my devices to play nice and catch up with each other. Right now, you can have any of the Harry Potter books. You can look at what's new in audiobooks. You can look at what's new in books that are always available. I'm going to just go ahead. Lucky Day are books that are always available, so they're usually pretty popular books. And we have plenty of copies in the system, so you don't have to wait. So I'll just go ahead and pick John Grisham. I'm going to click that. And we'll wait for the screen to catch up again, because there's a couple little tips and tricks that I want to show you when you're first starting out. So one of the things I want to show you is that when you go ahead and you click borrow, when you first sign up for Libby, now I have it on some other devices, and it was defaulted to 21 days. If you go up here, it says very lightly, it says 21 days, but yours might say 7. And if yours says 7, you definitely want to change that to 21 days. So I'll just kind of I'll click that 21 days and you can see what it looks like. So make sure that if yours says 7, you scroll and you choose 21 days. If you want it longer, if you're a very fast reader, keep it to 7. And then we'll go ahead and we'll click borrow. And then you could open up the book right away and start reading. You could keep browsing, or you could go to your shelf. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to my shelf. My book's already downloading. That's what that little icon was doing until it got the check mark. My settings are set up to download things automatically when I'm set up to Wi-Fi. But we're going to keep browsing. You can go back to your library up on top. It should show up pretty soon. We're waiting to see where it says library. You can click that, and then you'll go back into the collection of books. Let's go ahead and do an audiobook, just because that's fun. Let's actually go to preferences. Choose the format being audiobooks. Let's go ahead and apply those preferences. It will remember it, so if you want to go back to looking for everything, you're going to have to go back into your preferences and change that back into everything. But we're going to go ahead and choose audiobooks. We could choose availability being everything, which would mean even things you have to wait on, or you could make it be available now. So there's different ways to limit your searches based on your preferences. I'm going to go ahead and do apply preferences and pretend that I only care about audiobooks. And now at the home page, it's just going to show everything like it always does. But if I go down here, I can do some searches. Let's say I really like nonfiction audiobooks. I'm going to click nonfiction. Michelle Obama, Talking to Strangers. But if you notice, it doesn't say it's available now. You have to place a hold. So these are popular books. It sorts by popularity to start with. And those popular books you might have to wait on. I feel like I would really like to learn how to talk to strangers. So I'm going to place a hold. So I click place a hold. I'm just going to have to wait until it becomes available. What will happen is I will get an email or a notification on my phone saying that it's ready to check out. I'm going to click back. I'm going to say, well, I don't want to scroll through everything that's I'm going to have to wait on, so I'm going to click on refine. I'll wait for the computer to catch up here. And I'm going to go to availability. And I'm going to choose available now. And again, we'll wait a little bit. And then I think what we'll do is we'll just scroll, and I really want to know about astrophysics for people in a hurry. and I'm going to click the borrow. Now again, you're going to want to look at what your defaults are. Usually they go to the least amount of days. So mine says for 14 days, but you can always click that 14 days. That's the maximum you can have it at. So we'll keep the 14 days. If yours says 7, you might want it to say 14. I'm going to go ahead and borrow. Now what I'm going to do, it's downloading. There's a little square with a little circle next to the book, and that just lets you know that the book is downloading. It's not quite downloaded all the way. I can go to my shelf. So now on my shelf, I'm going to see what I have checked out. Well, right now I have John Grisham, the Whistler, checked out. And right now I have the audiobook, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, checked out. If I click on Manage Your Loan, it will tell me when it's due, I can return it early, and I can try and renew it when it becomes closer to the date where it's due. Under Actions, this is where you can change your download rules. I'm going to wait for the computer to catch up to my phone. And here under Actions, that red button here, you can scroll down and you can change download rules. I'm going to click that just to show you what you can choose. So all borrowed titles will be added to the download queue automatically. You can choose that. You can download only when you're on Wi-Fi. You can choose that. Or you could say you want to download all the time. If you don't have a lot of space on your device, you can download titles that are under 20 megabytes. And maybe you don't want to download at all. Maybe it's just when you're online and you just want to stream, so you would do nothing. I usually download my stuff. So now I'm going to wait for my computer to catch up. And it takes a little bit. And I guess I'll open the book, John Grisham, the Whistler. So they're going to ask you, do you want to read it with Kindle? Do you want to read it with Libby? When you're using the Libby app, you might as well just stay in Libby and use Libby. I would say using Kindle, I don't know how useful that is when you have the Libby app already on your computer or on your phone, but if you prefer to read in Kindle, you can choose that. I'm going to go ahead, and then the book should open up in your Kindle app. I'm going to go ahead and read this with the Libby app. And it's just going to show me the cover. We'll wait for the computer to catch up. And it's kind of cool because it has this little icon here that shows the book. So if you click on that, you're going to be in the book. If you click on Library, it's going to take you back to where you browse. If you click on Shelf, it's going to take you to your bookshelf and the other titles you have available that you already checked out. I'm going to click on the book itself. I'll wait for the computer to, respond. It takes a little bit. And then I'm going to just scroll. I swiped, and that will show you like the beginning pages of the book. Again, I gotta wait for the computer to catch up. If you just tap your screen on an iPad, then you'll have more options where you can get out of the book again if you're done reading. It'll save your spot. There's little options above the screen. Right here is like a menu. This is a bookmark. This is a search. If we hit the menu, wait for the computer to catch up. It's going to show me different options like search, chapters, bookmarks, reading settings, tips and secrets. It's kind of nice to set your reading settings if you have bad eyesight like me. You can go ahead and make it brighter, darker. You can make the text bigger. So there's some fun options there that you can explore. I'm going to click Done and take you out of that. And I'll just let people explore that on their own. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my shelf. And again, you can open the audiobook. It's the same process. You have that option to just click on the audiobook to start it to play. You have the option to go to your shelf or option to go to the library. You can click the play button.
Blackstone Audio presents.
And it will start playing. So again, Libby's gotten quite a bit easier over the years. Her little icon in the corner gives you notifications. So this up here has 3 notifications. I'm going to click that and see what it says. You have some options there. You can add a library card. So for instance, if you have a summer home in Florida and you have a card from your library there, they might subscribe to Overdrive. Most libraries do. And you could add that card to get more access to more books. You can configure how you would like to receive notifications. I'm going to click that. See what it says. It just says unpinned notifications. Don't really need to do much with that. So there's different options there, and then you can click hide and go back. So that's all I was going to show you today. If you have any questions about using Libby, using Overdrive, feel free to call the library at 920-398-3434. Email me, overbeck@markesanlibrary.org or director@markesanlibrary.org. We'll try to get back to you shortly, and I hope this has been helpful. Have a lovely day.